Hello, everyone. What a beautiful day here in Warsaw. Thank you very much for the organizer, David and Jean and everyone. It's been really great to bring me here. Pleasure to come here and talk to you about creativity. Well, that's my title, Creative Tech for Social Impact. Carl, what an amazing presentation. It kind of answered some of the things that I was going to talk about. I think this year is responsible for everything that's happening to us. But before I get deeper into my presentation, I just really wanted to ask you, how many creatives in this room? Just put your hand up. Tech people? A little bit, and everyone else's business, right? So yeah, this year's responsible, and maybe sometime in the future we'll think about this year and the time we live in before the internet and after the internet. I feel like this most of the time. Please don't disturb. I'm disturbed enough already, and late at night it's more like this. But we are living in this society where most of the times we are sort of losing the meaning of things. And if you just remember some years ago, not that far ago, we used to print the photos. We used to put them in these albums. And we used to read the maps from the paper, things like that. Books, we used to read books. Now we kind of use them to maybe decorate the place. But it's all that bad. Losing meaning means that we create the meaning. And I wear this little device. I still don't know what it does and why I'm using it. What I'm trying to say is that we should really think about what we're creating, how we're engaging. There's this, this is kind of different kind of thought of slow product movement, where instead of just really fast sort of product development, you maybe think about whether you should move so fast. Maybe you should sort of think about and sort of move your product in a very in a slow way. Pause is what I have created in 2010. It was apparently by the same time when the internet's third wave was sort of happening, where business became technology, and it felt like that back then. You felt that creators had a power to use all these software and hardware that became so democratized, and prices were dropped, and so it became so affordable that you could be your own, you can create anything, you can just put it out there. These days you can be a scientist. If you have a computer, you can do things. We explore creative tech and business at the festival that I do, and interactions between those industries. We try to spark innovation and be kind of catalyst of it. These are some values that we have. We put people, passion, and purpose sort of as the main sort of drives. Create content you can't Google, and try to create creative collisions. Essentially, technology wants to be human. Creativity is what drives us. Technology is just a product of our creativity, not the other way around. So we are in control. But if we really want to have digital transformation, empathy is first before technology. That's what Brian Solis said. You have to understand your consumer, customer, and treat them in a way that they feel that your service is appreciated. I wanted to show you some examples of different kinds of technologies and different kinds of creativity that drives those technologies that are more human. And here's the first example. It is action, adventure, survival, horror video game, like any other, well, unlike any other, because it has in itself a dialogue that is not really common for the games. It's a dialogue where Ellie, the girl, is actually questioning the man how the death of his daughter is what it means to their relationship. It's kind of a different type of engagement. In the games, you used to kind of pick up your gun and just shoot people, zombies or enemies or things. But these are different kind of games where it kind of engage with you in a different type of way. Okay. So this was meant to play. Okay.
Is this really all they had to worry about? Boys, movies, deciding which shirt goes with which skirt. It's bizarre.
Get up. We're leaving. Come on.
And if I say no?
Do you even realize what your life means? Huh? Running off like that, putting yourself at risk? It's pretty goddamn stupid.
Well, I guess we're both disappointed with each other then.
What do you want from me?
Admit that you wanted to get rid of me the whole time.
Tommy knows this area
Oh,
better
fuck
than...
that.
Well, I'm sorry. I trust him better than I trust myself.
Stop with the bullshit. What are you so afraid of? That I'm gonna end up like Sam? I can't get infected. I can take care of myself.
How many close calls have we had?
Well, we seem to be doing all right so far.
And now you'll be doing even better with Tommy.
Not her, you know.
What?
Maria told me about Sarah.
Ellie?
And
You are treading on some mighty thin ice here.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel, but I have lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone fucking except for you. So don't tell me that I would be safer with someone else, because the truth is I would just be more scared.
You're right. You're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad. And we are going our separate ways. Get it together. We're not alone.
So that was that. Very different storytelling. In this example, there's a few other games that tackle similar issues. This one comes from a local organization, Alzheimer's Australia in Victoria, and it's using virtual reality to create a scene of what it's like living with dementia, to show people what that is, and I wanted to play you a little video of that just to see how they tackled that. No. Should play. It's the first time that it was used, virtual reality, in aged care anywhere, so this is what it feels like.
This is a virtual reality experience like no other. Designed by Alzheimer's Australia Victoria, it allows carers to see the world from an Alzheimer's sufferer's perspective.
Alzheimer's Australia Victoria provides education to professional carers, and for years we've been doing the traditional workshops where people come in and they hear about what is dementia, and they get listed on a PowerPoint all the symptoms of dementia, and we discuss it, and people say yes, have an intellectual understanding of what dementia is. But we felt that people weren't putting themselves in the shoes of the person with dementia and really getting an empathy for what it might be like to live with dementia. So we developed the virtual dementia experience.
In the virtual dementia experience, the simple task of trying to take a shower becomes nightmarish.
Are you in the bathroom yet, Mum? We're going to be late.
Just going in there now.
The role-playing technician adds to the pressure.
Oh, what's this? You've changed the house around again.
Just get in the shower, please, Mum.
People are put in the shoes of a person with dementia and they get to understand all of the impacts dementia has, and not as individual components, but when you've put them all together, the effect it has on your hearing, the effect it has on your vision, your understanding, all of those symptoms and impacts on the person are more clearly understood by an experience as opposed to description. I think people do discuss memory loss as being the biggest impact, but it can actually be the physical abilities that are lost with time that can have a huge impact on the person. So, for example, not being able to drive any longer, not being able to go to work, not being able to do activities which they were, enjoyable for them.
Objects are confusing, even the floor disappears.
There's a hole in the floor.
No, there's
a
not, Mum. We're
hole.
going to be late. Can you please hurry up?
Oh, there is a hole.
We have some fantastic feedback from our carers where one individual in particular talked about going back to the workplace, and as she was caring for someone that needed to have a shower, the person living with dementia got to the shower and was holding onto the door frame and not wanting to go into the shower.
Oh dear. Oh.
She said normally we would coax her in, but we stopped and we thought, this looks familiar, and went back to the virtual dementia experience and thought, so how can we make this better for the person? Let's get her glasses. And they put the glasses on the woman, and all of a sudden she said she just relaxed. And I asked her, what does she feel like? And she said, I'd like a hug. And they went from there, and she said that the experience, which could have turned out to be quite a traumatic experience for that person, was now a really good experience because she could see what was happening, understand what was happening. We've got some really positive change of practice happening because of the experience.
Technology can and will help us understand who we are. This is another interesting startup I met. They think simplicity is the key, especially for the elderly people, and they developed this app that allows you to connect with your parents with no passwords. There's a little wearable dongle that you wear, and there's like very few buttons that you press. CRISPR genome is a way of how we might be in the future sort of editing our genome and just think about the potential of that side of, well, more science being creative. Wouldn't it be cool to be a doctor like this and really look into the patients with well, what I think it's a augmented reality here, but they calling it virtual reality, when you scan the patients and you can actually see what that looks like, rather than sort of keep on guessing. It would sort of really dramatically improve the care and knowledge. Smartphones also are built out there that have social values. They're open, and every track of the production is tracked, and it's ethical as well. And this is their video from Kickstarter. I just wanted to play you see how the actually products and the creativity with empathy and social impact could really be used together to create products and services that really answer all those things. Here we go.
Stuff. More stuff. All this stuff. You name it, we have it. But what we don't have, a clue about what's inside this stuff. We don't know where it comes from, or who made it. We know almost nothing about our stuff. That's why we started with an alternative for the thing we can't live without. Our phone. We are the people of Fairphone.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello. Good day.
Hoi.
Guten Tag. Hello.
And this is what we're building. The Fairphone. As smart as other phones, but fair. Which makes it more than a phone. It's a beginning, a step in the right direction. We're making it happen. A smartphone that's made in a way that puts people and the environment first. We're already working hard on the first batch. We're almost there. And that's where you come in. To start making them, we need you to pre-order.
So that's their Kickstarter campaign. They're now onto Fairphone 2. This guy, Hugh Herr, is one of the leaders in creating, actually getting advanced technology to help people and getting body and sort of technology to work like a muscle. It's really high-end product. And it's unbelievable research that comes from MIT. It's probably expensive too. However, this young guy, he's about 20 now, he is working on prosthetic limbs and trying to really bring the price of it down. His story was that he found a girl, she fell on a ground and had a prosthetic arm. That's super expensive, has only 2 functions, and he was set to make a difference and started creating his prototype out of Lego blocks and toys, and is now onto something big to really make a difference. It's a local company called technologii. They started with the water, and the idea is to, if you buy water, someone else gets a bottle as well. They now expanded to a lot of different products as well, but they give 100% of their proceeds to charities and people in need. And you can also track where your impact goes to. So using technology again, creatively in ways that you can see what's going on. This is storytelling in virtual reality again, sort of. Similar to that Alzheimer's Australia story, whereas this is more, it's not so interactive, it's more passive, but VR is very exciting space because it sets you it gives you the atmosphere, you kind of become the person and you feel this environment. There's a couple of projects that was done by Verse. One is Clouds Over Sidra and Waves of Grace. Clouds Over Sidra is a story about a 12-years old girl in refugee camp in Zatra and her life. There, Grace is, on the other hand, Ebola survivor and how she's using her immunity to help others. Very touchy sort of stories and interesting to see how that actually affects others, just the storytelling. And finally, university in Michigan is working on bringing Braille pad back. It's a technology that's super expensive. They say about $50,000 it costs for a full page of Braille, and they're looking to invent creatively technology that is way cheaper, under $1,000. So technologies and creativity, in most cases in our society today, trying to democratize and create technology more affordable and help us. So we're constantly in this sort of search of our purpose, and I think technology and creativity will help us understand who we are as humans. And if you want to find your purpose, you could actually answer these 4 questions. It also, those 4 questions could help you find a purpose for your organization. And I believe that everyone should have purpose of why we're here, what we're doing here. That purpose would drive your creativity and technology and create a positive impact. So if I can leave you with few things, I'd say that if you're a creative person and you want to get into innovation space, using technology for social impact, find your purpose, find your cause, and do it with passion, because the road is very bumpy. Diversity is the mother of creativity. I was in San Francisco, and one cab driver told me that we're living in a gold rush, and I couldn't agree more. It's a new kind of gold rush with the startups, but the only difference, he said, is that there's females in this gold rush, and that's a big difference. But diversity is not only about the gender, it's diversity of experiences, thoughts, and a lot of different sort of things. So if you really want to innovate, the creativity is actually needs to be diverse. And it only takes one step, one thing. You need to do just one thing to move with your idea and start shaping the world in the way you want, and try to engage the consumers in your audience and collaboratively develop that into a product and service that would serve the humanity. And the very lastly, focus on creating value. Just add value to the world. Thank you very much.